What up, what up, what up, guys? It's your girl T.U.O coming back with another reality check. All right, we about to get into, I was going to say Love and Hip Hop Child. We're going to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville, Southern Charm Charleston, Married to Medicine, and Real Housewives of Potomac. Now, I'm going to turn my camera on. However, I didn't really feel like doing my hair. Okay, I did my hair for something else, but then whatever it was didn't pan through. Okay, so I just put my hair in like these little twists. Um, because I'm really not gonna be doing nothing to it. Um, I just put the blow dryer to it for the most part. But anyways, I just got out the shower and I'm feeling a little snuggly. I did have a couple of shots. I was watching the Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine, and after Married to Medicine, Watch What Happens Live come on. And so I thought about doing the shots thing. The funny thing about that is that once they showed it, and that's when the game began for me because I didn't know what the word was. But Andy showed it a few times, or said it a few times before they showed what the key word was. So I guess some people go back or count how many times he may have said it, and take the shots. I wasn't doing it. I was like, once you say it. So I did too. And so I'm okay. I'm not like slurred up or anything. Um, I'm okay for the most part. Oh, my camera is grainy. It's an old camera. If you can hear that noise, sorry. What is that? It's like a reflection or something. But anyways, so I took some notes. I didn't take a lot of notes. I want to start with Love and Marriage Huntsville. I did not take notes on that one. I think I started taking notes on Real Housewives of Potomac, and that was really the only one I did. Um, so since I recently watched those, I watched those three today. Southern Charm I watched last week. So I'm gonna go into Real Love and Marriage Huntsville and then Southern Charm because um there wasn't really anything interesting to me. So starting with Love and Marriage Huntsville, we have Tisha getting this party together just to celebrate, just to be celebrating, right? And so, and so, sorry. And so they do an invite, they do like a little rap or something about whatever it was, like about the party, right? And they mention a couple of people's name, and the Fletchers are upset because they didn't get a proper invite like everybody else did. And I'm like, you should be glad that you were even invited. You should be glad that they're trying to be the bigger person. Mostly Marcel is trying to be the bigger person and still invite you anywhere, because had it been me, I wouldn't invite you nowhere. Especially since you disrespected my marriage and me. And you don't feel like you're my friend either. Remember, she didn't bring nothing in the basket. So they were in their feelings about that. And then Marcel had already told uh Tisha to watch out for Destiny. He didn't say it in those exact words, but he was like a person that what is it? How you say it? Shreds the fence. I forgot how you say it, but a person that rides the fence is a person that cannot be trusted. So be careful of who you associate yourself with. And so Trish started, no, I mean, sorry, I keep calling her Trish. Tish started noticing that and was like, oh, I don't like how she moving. And so she also got a text message. The only people, oh, And I don't think they did Martell either. I think out of everybody's outfit, what they were, I don't know if they have stylists and everything, because what Miss Nell, uh, excuse me, because when Miss Nell pulled out the closet, it was it wasn't given 80s, but when everybody showed up, it was given 80s. So I don't know if they were borrowing clothes or something, and accessories, but it was cool. I think the best outfit to me was Martell. um I'm trying to think for the girl side. Oh yeah, I think Trish too, because it was given left eye. That's why. So what was some of the highlights? So that's one, and then hmm hmm. I'm trying to think because it wasn't. I don't even think it was a long episode, and they going on a hiatus too. Until, well, I guess the first part of the season is over, and then in March they're coming back. So that's one thing I won't have to worry about. And I love the show. Don't get me wrong. I love the show. I was thinking they're trying to see who can get a spinoff where they can still make money, because they don't think this show together with all the people on there is lucrative, for one, and then also maybe some people are not getting along. Trish and Miss Nell. I will say this: replace Miss Nell, because I don't necessarily think that Miss Nell is bringing anything of value to the show. She screams, she holler. I think it's okay to keep Lance as Destiny's friend, and but I think they need to switch it up. They need to bring somebody else on, because it's, to me, Miss Nell's not that interesting. That's just to me. I may be wrong. She may be interesting to somebody else, but tell me exactly, what do Miss Nell be doing? Tell me what entertainment she be doing. I think Kimmy and Maurice could have a spinoff, because what's added to their spinoff is Marcel and Tisha. Okay, so them four could have their own show, the Scots, whatever you want to call it. It would be very interesting to me. Um, Another person that could have a spinoff is I think Martell would be an interesting spinoff, because I really want to know what's going on between him and his child's mother, and the dynamics. If Melody is interested in doing it, but the dynamics between Melody and him. But if not, definitely the child's mother. I can't think of her name. But I would be interested in that. I think Trisha, I keep calling them each other's name, but Trisha and Megatron would be a great spinoff as well. But it don't look like they're gonna last that long, so maybe not. Maybe, and I think that Destiny and Martell, well, mainly Destiny though, could do like a little dating show too, to find her one and true love. Like, not on no, we gotta do this for the ratings and stuff. Like, really being real about finding someone. I think that would be interesting, especially because she knows how to date. Um, who else is there? I think I got everybody right. So I already said the outfit. So the other thing, I don't think it was anything really of interest that happened besides the whole, sit down with the ladies, which is always something with the ladies. So let's just get into it. If it's something come up to you, something that I remember, then I'll say something. One thing that I am remembering though is that it was very disrespectful for everyone, for one, to say, I wonder who Destiny gonna bring. Is it gonna be you? Is it gonna be you? and doing all the high fives and rock paper scissors and stuff. That was so immature. And Destiny said that the person that she believed was the most mature was Quan. And then, and I agreed. I was like, yes, I hope it works out between Destiny and Quan. But then when they start dancing together, Megatron's friend came up behind her and started dancing, and Quan put his hands up with that nigga holding hands as if she was a sandwich or it was some type of threesome. It was disrespectful. It was disrespectful. And I was rooting for you, man. I was really rooting for you. But then you basically said what you felt she was to you. Like a person that cared about you would never disrespect you like that. And he totally disrespected Destiny. Now, that's one thing I do remember. The other thing, um, they sat down, the lady sat down, and there was a discussion that was going on about I don't know what, but oh, um, I can't remember her name, but Tisha's mom, who I really enjoy having. That's another person, but again, I think once the Scots come on a show, have a show, that she will be automatically, hopefully, uh, on the show as well. But she's also entertaining. She brings more to the show than Miss Nail, and I understand this because she stirs the pot and stuff. But that's better than nothing. Like you insinuating relationships and stuff. Talking about I know some stuff. She better keep her mouth shut before I let it loose and all that. Like what? And give me tell it. But oh, that whole thing. That's what took so long. Okay, I'm remembering now. The the dinner date with Maurice and Kimmy. Hopefully, I can remember because that was after this whole thing. So they sat down. They got into a conversation about something, and Miss Nell and Tisha's mama began having a conversation about it. And it's for some reason, um, it was brought up like, I heard you had a problem with my daughter and all this stuff, and I don't like hearing all that. I think they brought up, why the mom said, "How come you and Tisha got a problem?" And she said, "Because of the guys." Just to sum it up, whatever's going on with the guys, That's what started it off. And the mom was like, "Well, I don't like nobody messing with my baby, right?" And Miss Nell was like, "Well, I wish I had my mom here to defend me and all this stuff. I need my mom here." And Miss Nell, the mom was like, "Well, I lost my mom too, but I don't act how you act. I'm not acting like a beast, instead of saying the B word, but I'm not acting like a beast like you are and all this stuff." And she took offense to it, and Tisha had to come over and calm her down. And what was also what was also brought up was, how come the guys are okay but you guys are not okay? And the mom was like, they ain't nothing but some dogs. So what the mom believes is that they gonna stick together because they all the same. While y'all over here cackling like some hens, and biting at each other's neck, y'all need to be trying to get along. And so, and that's the thing with women though, like men will stick together. Like Marcel's relationship with his wife was at risk. And so he just paused whatever relationship he had with Martell, and I don't even think he was mad at Chris. However, once they amended or mended their relationship, um, they were able to move forward without any issues. Marcel was playing a little hard to get, but other than that, they were still able to move forward and coexist in the same room. I think that women are not willing to put their relationships per se at risk. For example, if my husband is cheating on me and your husband tells you about it, you need to try to get the information to me some way, somehow. You need to try to be like, oh girl, get your priorities in order, get your affairs in order to get ready to leave him. Women are not willing to do that. They're not willing to do that. And understandable. It used to be understandable because you're in a position of relying on this person. And if it's not your situation, then why should you care? Why should you go up and beyond for someone that uh, does not benefit you? I can understand that. So I'm not tripping off of that. But I think some of y'all can take notes because they sticking together. The information that's being discussed around, they really don't even talk about that stuff no more. I'm pretty sure they had a conversation off camera and was like, hey, don't ever bring that crap up about my wife and my relationship and da 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 da. You know, and I wish women could portray that type of behavior on television. Except it's always something. It's always something. And so after that discussion, I think it was brought up between Miss Nell and Tisha, and she was like, "I don't understand why you had a problem with me." I'm starting to get it confused, but um, and Destiny was like, "I thought y'all already hashed everything out or whatever," and Tisha was like, "We did, but I forgot. I'm gonna be real. I was kind of half watching." But she turned her attention to Destiny and was like, I don't like how you that's the word, straddling the fence. And so Destiny was like, I don't be straddling nothing. I don't be playing nothing. I don't play both sides about nothing. It is what it is. Now I'm just like this. Actually, you were the one who carried the bone to Tisha that caused this whole thing. You were the one that carried the bone to Miss Neal that caused this whole thing. You kind of are straddling the fence. You caused all this problem, and now you acting like, what? Who did it? I didn't do it. That's what it's given. So when when um when sorry when you sitting up there saying you're not straddling the fence, I don't believe you because I can see it with my own two eyes, and also excuse me, and also like you are ignoring the fact that you said something to Miss Now. You are ignoring the fact that you're going back and forth between these ladies, and then you got an attitude with Tisha, which also pissed me off because Tisha was not focusing on the right thing. She was talking about the cars. She wanted to switch cars because I had bad energy. No, ma'am. The issue was she wanted you to apologize to Miss Neal when you felt like you didn't do anything wrong. Let's stay focused here. You did nothing wrong to Miss Neal. Miss Neal had a problem with you because you told what she had already told everybody about Lance. So she should be mad at herself, not at Tisha. And Tisha was getting frustrated. Like I'm tired of being the one that has to humble themselves. And I do believe because, and people don't want to say it, but it's definitely because of colorism. I'm sorry to say it. It's because of colorism. You are the least factor, the least attractive one in the group, darkest skin, and not to me personally. I think Tisha's, like I said, Tisha and Marcel are my favorite couples. I pray to God for someone that looks like Marcel, not so much the attitude or behavior. But it's just like, who else are they gonna pick on? And Kimmy will get somebody together with her words quickly. And I think that's another issue, is that Tisha doesn't know how to articulate herself very well, which gets her into deeper conflict with people. Last thing I want to talk about, because it's going on 20 minutes, I'm talking about this, but I was kind of asleep. But last thing I want to talk about is Maurice and Kimmy's dinner. Now, this whole thing about sex 5 times a day is coming back up. They were supposed to have a dinner date, a date night, and the conversation came back up because Keisha, Kimmy brought it up. She said it in a slick way, and he was like, "I'm glad you finally got that out." And so she brought it up. They started the conversation, and what I got from the conversation was this: Maurice said that he only doing the therapy thing because Kimmy wants him to. He doesn't think that it's viable to the relationship. And then Kimmy said they had like this disagreement about their perspective of the therapy. Um, Maurice said that he didn't like how the woman said to him directly, which I'm also seeing that men have a real bad issue with you being assertive to them, just being, this is what it is, and this is how it is, and these are the results. They want you to coddle their feelings and tiptoe around their feelings to make them feel good about themselves. And I can tell you right now, I'm not the one for it. I will rip the band-aid off. So Kimmy said that the woman therapist told him that it's not normal to want to have sex 4 or 5 times a day. And I'm really being hyperbolic about the situation. It could be 2 or 3 times a day. I don't really know. Um, and he said he didn't like that. He didn't like how she told him, it's not normal. And he said, I like how the guy, uh, um, not produced, but I like how the guy went about it, right? I like how he went about it by saying, why do you feel like you need to have sex uh, 3 or 4 times a day? Where did this stem from? Um, is this, what is the key word that they use? Um, a soothing mechanism. Um, because he didn't say it's not normal. He said, I think he said something like it's unusual or something where it was watered down, right? He still, and I think what Kimmy was saying was he still was in agreement with his partner, wife. I don't know who this lady was to him, but he was still in agreement with her by saying it's unusual. And I think the conflict between Maurice and Kimmy was the words. Like, Marceau didn't hear that's not normal. He heard, where did this stem from? Let's see where this originated. And he wants to go step by step by step of what the issue is. And mm, especially when you're doing couple therapy, you kind of don't want to drag things out. You kind of want to, if that's the case, you need to do one-on-one therapy. I would highly suggest, especially for men. We saw Martell go to therapy for a second. He only went to therapy for a second, and he still lost his marriage because I don't think he was taking it serious. I would highly suggest that men go to therapy and start unpacking, the word that Charlamagne likes to use, unpacking some of the issues that they have so that they can move about in the world with confidence. I don't think Maurice is actually confident and has confidence in himself, because of how so offended he was when the therapist told him that it was not normal. Um, he needs somebody to hold his hand too. So there was some conflict about that. And then Maurice hit her with, if you feel that way, if you don't feel like, well, what was interesting to me in that conversation was when they said, when I met you, it was like this. That's what they both were saying. And I think Kimmy was saying it in a defensive mode, is back to him in a defensive manner. But that's what Maurice said. He said, when I met you, we was doing it this many times and you didn't have a problem with it. All of a sudden you got the ring and now it's a problem. And so, he didn't say that, but yeah, I can read in between the lines. And so I'm like this. I said, look, I remember Monique, the comedian Monique, I can't think of her last name, but Auntie Monique, she said, how you get them? She said, how you get them is how you lose them, but how you get them is how you got them. There is no return policy, okay? And so if you were doing something, and remember, we like money, we like providers, we like protectors, dominance, and all these things. We like those characteristic things from men. They like physical contact. Okay, so let's think about this. When they do something of a characteristic that we like, dominance or whatever, we tend to reward them. There's a reward. That whole little scientific experiment where if the dog sits, you give them a treat, and every time they sit, you give them a treat, and they do it with people too. Every time a person, I don't know, clock in on time, you get a hey, good job, pat on the back or something, and it's like a reward system, right? And so in this case, what I saw was Kimmy basically rewarded him for building. She said she liked him building. I don't know what that meant, but what I heard was she thought he was in the monies, and he was about his money, right? He was trying to make himself better. Okay, you make me better. So that turned her on. And so that's what she basically said. Him building turned her on. And so that's what made her want to do those things. Cool. He said, you got the wrong impression of me because that ain't who I am. And so I feel like I tricked you into this relationship. It's also giving. Okay, I'm gonna try to come back. Okay, because there's so many things going through my mind right now. Kimmy says, well, that's not me either. You can get that from any woman. And the way that Maurice looked, y'all go watch that episode. Y'all go watch that episode. The way that Maurice looked, he looked like, I know, I've been having it. Like, he looked like he was confessing, like Usher. Okay, these are my confessions. Just when I thought, okay. He was confessing to this person about he was confessing about the things, his activities. So I found that cringy for him to say, to look like that. I was like, oh, he telling it. But also, like, Kimmy, it's something that's gone a wrong array in your relationship where now things have changed, and Maurice is not liking it. Things are not changing for you because I don't know what this whole building thing is about, but I don't think he's two things. I don't think Maurice is into construction anymore. He's an attorney, right? But however, that should still turn you on the fact that he is into construction. I mean, excuse me, that he's an attorney, that he's doing something constructive with his life. It's not like he's sitting on his butt. And the other thing, what's the other thing that's unusual for me is the fact that it really didn't take that much. I don't know what the building thing is, but it really didn't take that much for him to get whatever he wanted. Right. And I think she said like spending time, like having long conversations and stuff. And it's like, what are you doing now? Are you guys not talking at all? Is it being faked? The other thing she said was he gets angry. That's that's weird. You're getting angry. Well, it's not weird because my child's father was like that. Like, if he didn't get none, and I don't know if this is a man thing, if you don't get none, you start acting out and having temper tantrums and having attitudes, being hostile in the house. Like, that's not cool. You need to learn. That's why I think men definitely need to practice going without for some periods of time so that they can learn how to live without. Because it's giving, like, if you ain't gonna give it to me, I'm gonna get it from somewhere else. Going back to that face. Oh, I need to screenshot that face because it was so funny. Um, I forgot my other point that I was trying to make about Kimmy. I don't want to put it all on Kimmy because we have to be realistic that people do change. And were you only with Kimmy because she was doing it 5 times a day? That's crazy. That's crazy to think that to have that type of expectation for a woman, your woman at that. Um, it was disgusting to me. But what Maurice came down to it said, well, if it's gonna be like that, then and he kind of left it on a cliff. And I read in between the line, he said, then they gonna grow apart. If it's gonna be like that, then they're gonna grow apart. And Maurice was like, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. What you mean you don't want to say it? And Kimmy sitting up there like a dog talking about, no, say it. Just say it. Come on, tell me. What is it? And it's like, you know what he's saying. And I get we don't want to assume, make an ass out of me and you, but at the same time, girl, let's put one plus one together and it equals two. He said what he said. Uh, if he ain't getting it, then he don't need to be in it. And the sorry excuse that he gave was, I gave you the wrong impression of who I am because that's not who I am. A builder. Oh, the soft hands era killed me. Okay. And then we see the clip for next season or next part of the season is that his own brother says, yes, you and your soft hands era. I start dying. Like, who? They must be having conversations between one another. It was so funny. But where did it change? Like, where did the change go? Like, I mean, where did the change start? Like, I low key feel like there's some resentment for the big C that happened to Kimmy, and it just was a downfall from there. Okay, I'm spending too much time on it. Sorry. Let's get into what did I say? Southern Charm. Southern Charm wasn't really given that much. Miss P had, I want to call her Priscilla, but Patricia, Mrs. Patricia had a dinner for the guys like she always do. And I was thinking, I said, I would love to do something like that. I bet she'd be soliciting them, like, you can stay after a little longer, okay. Especially Tom, right? And I miss Tom on the show. I think they need to bring Tom back. He would be very entertaining. He could be in the same group as, or crowd as Shep, because Shep is getting up there too. Like, he's becoming Tom of the group. So I'm trying to think. It really wasn't given anything that I can remember. I do definitely remember the fact that Charlie and Craig are flirting with one another. They're very interested in one another. Um, and she's pretending like she doesn't like Craig, which annoyed me. Um, I enjoyed seeing that black guy, the Nigerian guy, come onto the show. And he was like, I wouldn't say he was improper or anything. I just feel like he was being his natural self. He was laughing out loud, like louder than anybody, and he was making inappropriate comments and not giving a fuck. And he was like, and I think he's the one that broke the chair, and he was laughing about it. Like he was having a genuine good time, and I enjoyed seeing him. I don't think I touched on it last week or before. I'm getting sick and tired of Vanita. I don't know if it was that episode where Vanita and Sally had a luncheon. And Vanita is trying her best because she says she has a hard time expressing herself to her friends. She did her best to express herself to Sally and say, I feel uncomfortable with the fact that me and you are supposed to be friends, but you're trying to have an intimate relationship with Craig. And she said, Craig already admitted to you that he will treat you like a dog and let you off the leash. Something like that. And she said, I don't want to see you get hurt. And Sally said, let me get hurt. That's crazy that you want your friend to stand by and watch you get beat up. That's crazy. Whether it's metaphorically or physically, like you only want her to jump when you say jump. And that's not, I hope that's not how Vanita operate. Like, Vanita, you are a better woman than that, aren't you? You don't jump when somebody tell you to jump. It is what it is. And I feel like I'm not with the whole, if you're not friends with this person, I can't be friends with this person either. It's the fact that you witness this person disrespect your friend in your face and still proceed to be their friends. That's the problem. You watch this man drag Vanita through the mud, talk about her like a dog, and still have feelings for him. You're putting your feelings above your friendship that you've had longer than this whole attraction for Craig. And then after the show, we see that her and Charlie are over Craig, but the damage is already done. The friendship is already dead. Like Vanita was like low key trying to tell you, like, this is not gonna last that long, so you might as well just pick, and hopefully you pick me because it's not going to last that long. He doesn't want you, Sally. I saw that. You should have saw that. He's not giving you no time of day. And it made me do some self-evaluation on how I want what I want, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to be noticed or get this guy to like me, when in actuality he will still use you as the, I'll say, punching bag, even though that's not the right term, right? But as some type of bag. And so when you just already notice that the person is not interested in you, it's easier for you to move on. And I guess that comes with experience and time, because ain't no way in hell I like you, but it's so many fish in the sea. You got to start changing the waters that you're in to get out there. Like, and I'm also speaking to myself. I am interested in this person, but it's not reciprocated. And so when it's not reciprocated, you have to move on, move forward, and work on yourself, Sally, because it's giving low self-esteem. It's really giving that. And I'm here with you, Sally. You're not alone in this. But the fact that you chose a guy over Vanita is crazy to me. But it didn't jeopardize, and I don't know for sure, but it didn't jeopardize you and Charlie's relationship, even though y'all two were fighting over Craig. Not physically, but verbally going behind each other's back and stuff. Like, it's crazy. So if you're sitting up here upset and talking about Charlie, the other thing I felt was funny was Sally was trying to act like, oh, it's not that serious. It's really wasn't that serious. When you got in this lady's face, you got in Charlie's face and was like, if you like him, tell me. Just tell me now. And you did call dibs on Craig. You sit on the balcony in front of Rodrigo or right, I can't remember his name. And he needs to definitely be a part of the show. Like he should be a main castmate in the show because he is the best castmate out of everybody. Okay, he will check you. He will tell you exactly what you said to your face and be like, "No, you're the one who." He did it to everybody. He ain't got no friends like that. He's like, I'm here as everybody's friend. And if I hear it, if I see it, and you tell me, I'm gonna tell this person, and I'll tell you that I told this person. And I like that about Rodrigo. Um, but you said it in front of Rodrigo and Vanita, like, I'm interested in this guy. That's what you said. I'm interested in him. And if he was available, I would kiss him and all this stuff. I mean, no, I was thinking about Austin for a second. But you were like, I want to kiss him and all this stuff. And you keep staying in his pool and stuff, like that's, you're throwing yourself at this person at this point. And Austin, you said you were interested in Austin, and what was so funny to me was in Watch What Happens Live, Sally said, you think I was thirsty on Craig? Oh my god, I was so thirsty on Austin. Like, are you okay? I'm trying to be a new person in 2026. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm trying to be a better person, a more mature person. But some of y'all be pulling it back, okay? Some of y'all be pulling it back. Y'all be wanting me to get it. Are you okay, Sally? Like, why would you say that on national TV where millions of people are watching a show that you're thirsty for a man? I'm like, do you not see how beautiful you are? Do you not see what I see? What's that song? Do you see what I see? Okay, because you are gorgeous, and none of them dudes deserve you. Not Craig, not Austin, not Shep, not even the other dude, Whitley. Okay, not even him, not Whitney. None of them. Get into a different pool. You can still hang out and be friends. I think that's the reason why. Um, the other girl who I found interesting that they all wanted before, I think she was very, I can't remember her name, but I think she was a hairstylist, I think, and she was a great add on to the show. But it's just like, why? Why would you want to even date them? They ran through, girl. Let's talk about it like how they talk about you. They ran through. You don't want them old bones. You want some new, fresh bones. Okay, ain't you in your 20s or something? Like, girl, don't ever say that again on national TV that you thirsting over a man. Okay, keep it to yourself. Keep it between you and Charlie and Vanita if she's still there, because Vanita would have checked you like, not on my watch. See, that's why you need friends like her. She gonna check you. Um, I don't think Austin is the right fit for you either. I think you need to find yourself. That's what I think. Moving on, because I don't think it was anything else besides that whole little luncheon. It rubbed me the wrong way. I felt sorry for Vanita, and I think she cried too. I'm not sure, but it's sad, and it's just, I'm like, girl, why are you trying to be a part of these crews? Bring back Southern Charms, New Orleans, and send Vanita over there, because this ain't it. This ain't it. I just don't feel it. I just don't feel it for them. Vanita is an outcaster. Like, she gotta beg to be somebody for her, and what's her name? What's that lady name that's pregnant? Madison ain't even close like they used to be. You know, that's the sad part. And it's just like she just trying to hold on to friends. I think her and Rodrigo, it would be a great combo. Like, I can see them together. Okay. Moving on. Got that. Loving Marriage, Southern Charm. Let me see, because I took notes with Real Housewives of Potomac. I don't remember Married to Medicine like that, but I'm gonna try my best. So, Married to Medicine, we find out that Heavenly has a brother. You know what's freaking crazy is that I found out I had a brother last year at my big age. And so I'm living vicariously through Heavenly right now to see how that feels. And also, my brother is older than me. I know that's a gut punch. And she was like, I thought my father would never. He just a low down dirty dog like all the rest of them. And I also feel like that's what made or makes heavily delusional to the relationship concept, where she believes that Damien is not, has no mark of infidelity, and it could be true. I'm not saying that all men do that, but majority of men have a hard time being faithful to their partner. I definitely believe that Damien has probably stepped out on Heavenly. I just don't personally believe that he's faithful, and I could be wrong. Oh, it's another season of Bridgerton. I could be totally wrong. I'm like, who else about to get married? Is it gonna be old shorty girl, little chub chub, or is it gonna be her friend? Is it gonna be her friend? Okay, that's gonna be interesting. It's just too much, you know, clapping cheeks. I just be like, I'm uncomfortable. I would like to watch something without all the clapping of cheeks. But anyways, I'm getting off rails. Uh, Married to Medicine. Uh, so I'm living vicariously through Heavenly and find that it's interesting that she has a brother and she's accepting him with open arms without even questioning. She said that he basically told her her relatives' names, her grandmother, her aunt, and all this stuff. And I'm like, no, we need a DNA test, whether we look alike or not. We definitely need a DNA test. Now, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something personal about me, okay? I don't know how much I want to tell. So I got close to a relative of mine. And during this time, I then went over to the person's house and met up with them. Now, I asked the person, do I look like my father? Because my father passed away when I was only 3 years old. And the person said, you look just like your mama. And they kept repeating it every time I said, well, I'm asking about my daddy, you know. And they kept repeating that. And so I took it as, you don't know and don't believe that I'm this person's child. So, and I accepted it for what it was, and that is okay. And I used to get these text messages or whatever that I took offense to. But anyways, fast forward. I end up doing the whole I was gonna say ABC. What is it? 23andMe DNA test or uh, ancestry testing. And it so happened that I got connected to a cousin that stays out in Texas, and my first cousin, yeah, my first cousin. Um, so I knew for sure that I was related to this family. And it's only two guys in that on that side of the family. Um, so I said either you my daddy or he my daddy, but somebody over here is my daddy. And so here's the DNA test or whatever. And ugh, that would be a gut punch. I just don't understand how Heavenly's taking it so well. But anyways, so that's how I was able to find out that I'm related to these people. And so when I was told about my brother by my mom and my aunt, um, I was very angry because I said, why would you wait so long to tell me? I know I look 20, but I'm not 20. And so I'm like, it took you all these years to tell me. Why would you tell me now? Like, you're starting drama and all this stuff. I was very upset. And so they gave me his number and I asked for a DNA test. And I told my family member to ask for the DNA test. They didn't want to. And so I did it. I said, I think we should do a DNA test. And it's no disrespect. I personally don't feel like getting into a full blown relationship with someone, growing closer to someone just to find out that you're not nothing to me. I also don't like people in my space. People are already toxic and dangerous, that if I don't need you in my surrounding space, I'm not going to have you in my surrounding space. I'm very, very mindful of who I bring around me in mind. Um, so once I said that, the person did not respond, and I never heard from them again. Now I don't know whether this other person um speaks to them or whatever. I just know that I haven't heard from them. And I was like, why y'all didn't get a DNA test? And da, da, da. And come to find out, they've been knew about the baby since um, our dad died. And I'm saying our loosely. Um, but I think it's very important to be for sure 100%. All this lookalike stuff, no, we're not doing that. We need to have some paperwork behind it, because you're bringing this person to your home in your space where you making money and you don't know where they at. And the first time they ask you for some money and you say no, they gonna get angry at you, and you're putting your family in your life in danger for what? Because you want a brother. It ain't even really that serious. Now that right there ain't that serious or that deep. So I was living vicariously to see how Heavenly will respond to the situation. So then they have like a little family reunion with all the cast and their people, whoever they bring. I thought it was cute. I always wanted to do a family reunion. I've always encouraged my family to do a family reunion. However, they got issues. I don't necessarily have issues with anyone. I address my stuff head on and I put it away and I don't think about it no more. Now, do other people have issues with me? That's their problem. I can care less, because I'm not going to change who I am, because I don't feel like it's anything wrong with me per se. I know who I am and what I am. I don't care about what other people think, and I work on whatever I need to. They have this reunion and it really wasn't no problem. I think if I'm not wrong, the producers, our editors, switched the events on the whole quad thing, where Quad found out about her embryos versus the whole reunion thing, because I think people at the reunion, Jackie was talking about it already, and all this stuff. So King goes to the barbershop and meets with Eugene and Cecil, and he's talking about the situation, how, and I think it was very profound for him to discuss his real feelings about the situation, that he is taken away from his time and his day-to-day things to accommodate Quad. And I think she's so, and I say this with love, self-centered, that she's not thinking about that. It's the fact that you want to have a child with this person, knowing that he already has a child, and not being considerate of that child is crazy to me. Like, you should be encouraging him, like, hey, go see about your daughter. I can handle this by myself. Or, it's like, has she ever met your daughter too? Have you met the mother? And I'm not saying that that's important, but just to be on some Alicia Keys Swiss Beat type of stuff. And I'm not saying it's the same dynamics, but at least they are getting along, is what I'm thinking. And so I'm just like, it may become sticky for you, Quad, because he's feeling it. He's feeling like he's neglecting his stuff. And he said that the trip was supposed to be for a day or two, and it turned into 5 days. That's a problem. Why would it turn into 5 days? Oh, baby, let's stay a little longer. Like, is it because of the medical stuff, or is it because you wanted to? And it's like you're being very inconsiderate. And you're not gonna be able to take care of this. Like, he doesn't expect for you to take care of him. That's the thing. He wants to take care of himself. And if he says something the way that they are, because I know personally from firsthand, as soon as you say no to these people, they get an attitude and they get mad. Like when she asked him to move in with her, when she asked him to move in with her at her house, he said no, and she got an attitude. Come on, baby, why not? And she tried to basically force him to do something he didn't want to, and it was a problem. But Quad, she gonna keep her man because everybody like him, and it's good for the show. I think that's what it is for me. Because fast forward after the family reunion, they find out that they only have one embryo, and I'm like, that's good enough. It's a possibility it won't make it. That's true. But one is all you need, like Miss Jackie said, like Dr. Jackie said, you only need one. And as long as you're taking care of your body and you eating right and you taking your I was gonna say fertilizer. It's been so long since I had a baby, I can't remember what them pills is called. As long as you're taking your prenatal pills and everything every day, them pills that you're supposed to take during pregnancy, I think you'll be fine. And the way that Miss Quad eats, she eats pretty good to me. And the other thing I'm thinking about too is the fact that you're not even a fiance. Am I wrong? Is Quad a fiance? I don't know. You're not even a fiance and you trying to bring your baby into the world. You're not even married yet and you trying to bring your baby into this world. And Quad reads the thing that says they only have one embryo and that the other five didn't make it or they won't develop. Okay. And you can see the relief off of King's face. Like, y'all go watch it. You can see he is relieved on the fact that she's not pregnant. So he tells her it's expensive. Do you think it's worth it? I agree. You can adopt, Quad. All the little white girls that need to be adopted, go adopt you a baby. But the problem is, if it's not related to you, you run a risk of losing your man, like that director. But my thing is, if it's expensive, she said, I'll pay for it. No, that's not the point. Because you're going to want my support. That's what King said. You're going to want my support, and I can't even give you that. And what the reality is, King said it's not that he doesn't want to do it. It's just too much time. Time is money and energy. And it may not, he was like, it was supposed to happen the first time. It didn't happen. So it's not meant to be. And I thought that was a bit cold-hearted to tell her like that. But he's not lying. He's not lying. And he said, I was fine with not having more kids. And I'm just like this. Don't waste this girl time. If you don't want to do it, just say you don't want to do it. Just say, I don't want to do this. It's not what I want. It's not working. And he so much said it. He said it so much that he said, I'm only doing this because you want to do it. I'm trying to think. Is that the second time somebody said it? Yes. Maurice said it. Now King said it. They only doing it for you guys. They don't actually want to do it. And if they say no, then what's going to happen? You guys are going to punish them. Punish them how? Punish them with no sex, which they like. And I feel like we need to start practicing acceptance. If it's no, then it's no. I feel like the only reason why I'm able to say that is because I have a child. And sometimes it doesn't go my way. And it's hard for me to accept it. And I don't want to use the B word, but it's not good. It's not nice. And we need to respect that their nose is nose. And don't sit up there and try to force them into doing something they don't want to do. And be okay with it. It shouldn't change the dynamics of the relationship. But most of the time we do that. We be like, oh, I can't have it this way. Well, guess what? You can't have this now. And that's not cool. I think King did the right thing by telling her that he is not interesting. He's not interested in moving forward with trying again. She was like, I gotta stick myself again and again and again. No, no, no. You go ahead and try with that one baby. But again, you're not a fiance. You're not a wife. Why are you doing this to yourself? Talking about, I want to experience that. Girl. And I would even say, get a surrogate. Like, I don't think you quad should be carrying anything. And it's good for you though. Because once you have a baby, you start to deteriorate, right? Deteriorate. And your body, it's just not good. It's really not good. And you're already in your 40s. I feel like Quad needs to accept the fact that she may not have um, a child in his lifetime. And she could adopt though. Angelina Jolie, who else? Madonna, all of them, they be adopting little black babies. You go ahead and adopt you a little white baby. Stop acting like y'all don't know what to do. Y'all adopt y'all little white baby and bring them up right so that you can change the dynamics for the next generation where they ain't coming up racist. Come on now. Do I gotta spell it out for you? Give you the full blueprint? This is crazy. Now, I also have to accept the fact that I may not get married in this lifetime. I might not have more children, which is why I got mine out the way. I said, I may never have a baby. So, so I wish nothing but the best for Miss Quad, Miss Quad. However, I think she needs to start accepting her relationship, her faith, her fate. All right, I'm at an hour. I'm gonna try to wrap this up real fast. Real Housewives of Potomac. I got my notes here, so I'm gonna go off of it. So I guess it opens, or the first thing that comes to my mind is Angel wanting at home. Okay, so they was in the living room, and the last week we left off with, you need to tell me what the information is, or get the fuck out of my house. So sorry, I wasn't trying to cuss. Or get out of my house. That's what Angel said, and so it was crickets when we came back. It was cricket, 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 and Wendy came out and said, I know a realtor who knows you, and you asked her to find a house that looks like it's worth $14,000. I don't know if that's wrong. A month or the total. Okay. That's a different type of money I ain't got. But I only want to pay $1,000. And I'm like, and what's the problem with that? It's called fake it till you make it, right? That's what it is. She ain't made it on the show because y'all still dangling her like she's an option here. And y'all expect for her to put all her money and time and energy in her properties in another location, which I think that would be lucrative if she was to bring whatever her business is, keep it in Colorado, but also bring it to Potomac and try to find some type of activity. Like here in Hollywood, we have going to celebrities' houses and stuff, like old celebrity houses and stuff, and talk about the history of it and stuff. That's what we have out here. She can do something. She better figure something out in Washington D.C. or whatever. So, is Potomac in Washington D.C. or Virginia? One of them. So I'm just like, why does that matter? And is that juicy information? Like the information that they've been giving us this whole season is hearsay. Like they bring in the streets information to the show when they not combing through the reality. Like I think they intentionally talking about BS to us. I've already told y'all about the whole AJ, what's his name? TJ thing. Did nothing. I looked it up. Nothing came from that. Nothing came from that. Like there is no lawsuit out there. If y'all see a lawsuit out there, please message me. My Instagram is on the bottom right there. Message me the information where it shows the lawsuit between Stacey and TJ. There is none. 2, this whole date between, what's his name? Is it Michael? Is his name Michael? I forgot. Chris and Stacey. They showed a picture, and Stacey looking at him like she can eat him up. But also, Monique said, even if it's true, she said this. Even if it's true, who cares? He's a single man now. That's true. But what if this person doesn't want y'all in her business? I think that's okay. I ain't gotta tell y'all nothing. Y'all act like y'all worse than. I'm glad I pulled it back. Y'all worse than the FBI. Y'all act like somebody gotta tell y'all something. Ain't nobody gotta tell you nothing. And it don't mean that a person's a liar. It just means that they're withholding information from your big mouth self. You can't even hold water. What you mean? If anybody told Chris anything, it was the producers, or it was one of them, Ashley or Giselle, because they can't hold water worth nothing. Or that other lady that Monique don't even fool with. Was she at the party too? Because somebody, I think Giselle is her friend. This is how I think will happen. Now that I'm thinking about it, Giselle is friends with that lady that Monique don't like. I can't think of her name. Cookie, is it Cookie? And Giselle had already invited her to this luncheon and everything before, and Giselle and Monique had not made up yet. They didn't make up yet. So when Monique came to that LGBTQ event for Ashley, she was talking whatever she was saying about Chris, and Giselle was standing there too. And she went back and told Cookie, and Cookie told Chris. And then Chris said, "You better keep my name out of your mouth." And that's the only thing. And then Cookie came back and put it on because Giselle don't like Stacey. She has shown that she don't like Stacey. She is the weakest link to her on the show, so she can be ostracized off the show if need be. So I think this is how it went. That's how me putting this all together. She put in a Cookie ear to say it was Stacey, and it was Stacey that Chris told her whatever, and who I think did Stacey call or Cookie called Chris and was like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Well, now what Chris didn't say was, and I feel like he should have said was, I don't know what y'all talking about, but y'all need to keep my name out your mouth. Now coming back forward. I'll get to it, okay? Because I didn't got deep into this whole thing because I feel something for Stacey because she is an outrage, okay? And I feel like she's getting targeted, like she's being targeted by these ladies for no reason. But I also see Stacey. I also see her too, and I ain't feeling that. So Angel has a small relaxation event for the girls when they got there to decompress, I guess. And except she's not engaged. She's not doing the active. She's sitting on this little air conditioner, I think, and like doing the activities as she's sitting on this thing. And Stacey was like, girl, well, if you ain't gonna do it, then I ain't gonna do it either. And I feel her. I'm not your puppet to be watched and you not even doing, like, she was doing it, but she wasn't sitting on the ground like everybody else. And I was like, I agree. Because I was like, well, Stacey and this fly, well, everybody else look fly too. So yeah, I ain't feeling that. So give me some wine. And so I was in agreement with Stacey with that one. Angel had the game messed up. So Angel tells the ladies, like, Tia and Kay is coming to my house. The rest of you HOEs could stay here. Cause I don't fool with you. She need to go ahead and tell him, like, I don't like none of y'all, Giselle and Ashley. And the other ones is just collateral damage. Now, I'm like, Wendy got the drive in your car and Stacey got the drive in your car. And I was under the impression that Stacey and Wendy was going to her house. However, I haven't heard Wendy complain about nothing yet. Now that I think about it, I don't think I heard Wendy say anything about uh the water or anything. Um that was my annoyance this episode. I was like, girl, you complain about every goddamn thing. So Giselle gets mad that those two ladies get to go. Oh, I was gonna say that I thought that Angel was gonna let Stacy and Wendy go to her house, but I guess that wasn't. She was just saying that look at this shady stuff that I'm about to do. Watch this, watch this. They got the best rooms, however, they didn't get to go to her house. And so Giselle was mad, like, why we can't go, all up in her business. And it was just, and Angel's better than me because I was like, because I said what I said, Nene style. You gonna stay here? And the audacity of you to think that you deserve to come in this lady's space after you told her that she was homeless. That's what you said. You said that she was homeless and couldn't afford to live in no nice house in Potomac or whatever. That's what you said. So she did a whole I got you move. So so they got in their feelings. Angel didn't care and she left. Kay was crying the entire time, both episodes. Don't know why. I think she didn't drink no water, like Angel said. So that's my only assumption. And I think she was high. They said that she took some pills or something, and so I think she was high. Yeah, she was high, and she was drinking with it too. I was like, are you supposed to drink with whatever pills you took? I don't know, because most of the time you can't drink with no pills. They show up to Angel's house. Her house was beautiful. Is it my dream home? No. But I was like, she got a home now. Y'all thought y'all had Angel, but you ain't have Angel. Her house was banging. The rooms banging. I was looking at the pictures though. I was like, are those pictures? I was trying to see if there was any photo. I'm not gonna lie, Angel. I was trying to see if the face that we saw. I'm trying to come over to your house, Angel, but if it's like that, I ain't gonna use the C word on you, but it was like that, I understand. But I was definitely scoping out the pictures to see if it was the same person. But I think she definitely did something to her nose in the photos. In the Instagram pictures and all that stuff. I think she just did her nose differently because she has a wide nose. I think Angel is beautiful the way she is. So there's no need to change who you are. You are who you are naturally. And you got that fine man. Like why would you care about whoever else think? Okay. She has an event where she invites the ladies over. They finally see the house and they mouth is on the floor, right? They mouth is on the floor and they all mad. Why we can't stay here? No, you can't. And so they have these little events that goes over well, like there's no problem or anything. And excuse me, Angel tells them I gotta figure out that word where you tell people the list of things that you're gonna do. Anterior, I keep saying it like that. But telling people what they're gonna do the next day, and everybody's excited about going to Aspen, about going to, I forgot where the other place was, but they're going to these different spots and locations, and they're excited about it. And they keep cutting to Bobby taking care of the babies. I don't know why they kept doing that, because personally, I don't care. You know, whatever they do in their household is what their household do. Speaking of whatever they do in their household, that's what they do. Monique was talking about Angel in her household, talking about, I think Angel is scared of Bobby and he's probably abusive. I'm just playing. I'm being extra about it, but It was like she was projecting her situation onto Angel, and I was personally offended as well, indirectly. Like, girl, this is not you. If it was me, basically, I would be offended because this is not your situation. Everybody is not in the same relationship that you're in, and just because it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck does not necessarily mean it's a duck. It just could be a parrot mimicking a duck. You know what I'm saying? And so, okay, but her situation is not Monique's situation, and I was like, oh, that's not good for you. And I took notes. I forgot. Um. So when they got to her house, Monique was like, "Oh, I like this attitude that you have. I don't like the other person that we saw yesterday." And I was like, "Y'all gaslighting her right now. Y'all gaslighting her because in that moment, since she been on the show, y'all call her the C word. I'm not gonna use it. Y'all didn't call her the C word. Y'all didn't say that this lady got evicted. Y'all didn't say she can't afford to live out in Potomac. That's why she had to move back to Colorado. She only here because of the show. Y'all didn't made so many allegations. Y'all didn't made so many allegations against this lady. The audacity of you to think that she's supposed to be a certain way towards you. You get what you put out. And Monique, you should know that. When you're on this healing journey of yours, you should know whatever you put out is what you get back. And so what has been put out to her? And so she's giving it back. You feel me? Now you talking about her relationship too? Like, the nerve of y'all. The nerve of y'all. I'm just so surprised that Monique is not catching that. And maybe she's not privy to that information and stuff. But I need Andy to definitely ask her why she thought it was appropriate to tell Angel that she's being a mean girl and now she's nice, or she didn't like how she was being a mean girl and now she's nice. When I don't know if she's witnessed the behavior towards her, but it's not acceptable. Like, you're saying it's okay for Giselle and them to do something to her, but she can't respond. Okay. Um. So at this table, while they're eating, because I don't think it's dinner, but while they're eating, the discussion was, oh, I like how Tia and Stacy were able to work together in this activity. Where, you guys are able to get along. Where did this whole issue stem from? And Tia articulates herself very well and says, you kind of rub me the wrong way because the girls be talking about you and you're kind of showing what they say about you is true. And I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling you lying and making it seem like I'm not telling the truth. And so, excuse me. Uh Sorry. The example she gave was, she turned to Monique and says, for example, Monique, she told us that she didn't even know Chris, and then later on said that she did know him. And Stacy said, why would I say that? Now look, it don't make no sense for Stacy to say I don't know him. Not once did the camera show, because she said run the tape after they showed it. Run the tape. Not, they didn't show Stacy say, I don't know this man at all. They showed Tia asking, do you know him? She's like, yeah, I know Chris. I think she asked her like, or something like, are you guys close? Type of thing. And Stacy's like, no, I just know him, like, around the way. Like, we're not close like that. We don't hang out. And so, and then Stacy showed text messages to Monique where he's the only person talking, sending her text messages, giving her accolades, complimenting her and stuff like that. She's not responding. And you can tell this is what Stacy's saying. You can tell that I'm not responding because he's not speaking back to anything that I'm saying. He's only saying, "Hey, you look great on this poster. I hope you're having a great day. You know, you and your daughter look whatever it was at the time." That's what he was saying. And I think she probably sent one message and said thank you or something. But it wasn't deep like let's meet up. Oh, the loving was good. That date, it was so hot and spicy. I hope we like, cause come on now. If I'm into somebody, you gonna know I'm into somebody, okay? You gonna know I'm into somebody, okay? And so I was like, y'all be reaching. Like I already mentioned the other stuff, the claims that they have against Stacey before. They don't have nothing else. Like they even the thing with Angel, they haven't presented anything of substance that they can legitimately prove that it's true. Even with why you didn't call the real estate lady to prove if it's true or not. And it's like, for what? I'm not about to waste my energy on that. I'm focused on something else. I know what it is, and that's why I'd be like, if something is true, there's no real reason to argue against it. If you believe, you're gonna continue to believe no matter what I say. And I wish Stacey would know that. No matter what Stacey says, they gonna believe whatever they want to believe. Ain't no point in getting your panties in a bunch and leaving no party. I would definitely ignore them and go find me something to eat and mind my business in the corner if that's what it is. Or I would shut it down. Like, look, you gonna believe whatever you want to believe. I ain't talking about it no more. Don't bring up TJ to me no more. You ain't brought nothing of facts. Hush. Don't bring up nothing to me about Chris because I already told you me and Chris don't even date like that. This whole picture thing, you don't even see, even though Stacey looking at him like she can eat him up, you don't see it. It looks like it's cropped out to where it's multiple people there on the other side. I could be wrong. However, you don't see nobody's hands on anybody, and you don't see them in an affectionate position. It's nothing there. It don't look like, it looked like a date. So what? So what? But what Stacy took it as, it wasn't a date. They were just hanging out. And even that's okay. Sometimes people do publicity stunts. Probably what it was. That's what it's given. You feel me? So you reaching for this whole Chris thing is crazy. Y'all ain't got nothing to talk about. Y'all have nothing to talk about yourself. You talking about everybody else. You have nothing. And Bravo, it's like really getting exhausting with these two people. It's getting exhausting with these two people. Tia, you and I think Stacey is right about that. Like you trying to get on the bandwagon with Giselle and whoever's mad at Stacey with nothing. The only thing that Tia is correct about is the fact that she lied. And I thought about this as I was watching the show. They lied. Her and Timu lied about him flying out the next day. He clearly did not want to go, and he was trying to let you down easy. That's the thing. And again, nobody owes you the truth. Nobody owes you anything. It's just the fact that you took that as something against Stacey. Like she can't help what her ex-husband wants to do or not do. And she even looked like, well, I think he's gonna be at or whatever, because he was really doing her a favor by even being at the pool site. You can see him in the background while they were talking, just lingering around because he didn't want to be on camera. That again, him being nice. He said, "Oh, I got something to do," and walked to the back of the camera, out of sight, where we could still see him though, and stood there. If y'all go rewatch that episode, he was in the background, standing there. Come on now, like y'all don't know what is it, social cues? Like, yeah, we know you lying, but I see why you lying, because you don't want to do something. When people don't want to do something, they'll say something else. Like y'all know what I'm talking about. They'll say something that's really not true, but just to let you down easy. And it's like y'all trying to act like y'all don't know what that is. Like y'all don't see what she doing. But other than that, she ain't. I don't believe that she lying about paying TJ. I don't believe that she she lying about Chris because she said it over and over. I don't believe that she text Chris that information until Chris come out and say yeah and show some proof that Stacy called him or something, and they talk for hours or something because it don't take 5 minutes to have no conversation about what happened when you gossiping. No, I don't believe it. I'm gonna stick with Stacy until the wheels fall off. I already talked about the whole situation with Monique projecting her situation onto Angel, and it's not cool. I don't think that she's fully healed, like I said. Um, oh, so in that conversation about Stacy and Chris, Monique jumps on the bandwagon and be like, you know what I don't like though? And I guess something changed from when Chris was was brought to attention about Monique talking about him and them having that little get together to put everything on the table with Stacy and Monique. Um, I think Chris filed something against Monique, and now they have some issues in their parenting. They're co-parenting. And Monique was like, "Well, I don't appreciate you causing problems. If it's true, I don't appreciate you causing problems between me and him by bringing misinformation, talking about I talked about him like a dog, dragged him through the mud, and all this stuff." Now, I don't know when Chris goes back and watch that episode of you talking about him that he doesn't feel like you talked about him like a dog, because that is your point of view of the relationship. He may not agree with you. So in that, he may think that you are talking about him like a dog. However, I don't believe that Stacy said anything, because what benefit is it of her to tell Chris that you said something about him? What does what does Stacy get out of that? It's not like Chris is gonna be able to say something on the show. It's not like he's gonna come on the show and do anything. What is that for her? And I don't think she care about the dynamics of y'all relationship as far as co-parenting either. So what reason would Stacy have? They're not that close. So it's no loyalty there, like, oh yeah, let me tell you this. Like, no. Like, I'm not putting my energy into nobody that doesn't deserve it. Like, that's not giving it back. So I don't believe that. And I feel like Monique took out her frustration that she has going on with Chris out on Stacy. And that's crazy. Oh, he over here filing paperwork against me, trying to get full custody or something about court. And I'm like, girl, what that got to do with Stacy? And Stacy was like, girl, what that got to do with me? I didn't do anything. Well, if it comes out that you did, then I know you a liar. And I'm like, girl, whatever. And that's why I said, Stacy needs to start responding. Believe what you want to believe. But when I'm vindicated, you can't never come back to me, because you've already shown me who you are. You believe what you want to believe. You're accusing me of something I did not do, and I feel like that's highly disrespectful. You speaking against my character, and I ain't do what you said I did, and it's to you to the streets. It's you to the streets, like for life. That's the thing that's really grinding my gears, is that nobody has physical evidence of none of this stuff they're saying. They have no physical evidence that Angel got evicted. Angel showed us her text message. It doesn't look like an eviction. It looks like an end of a term, a lease term. They don't have no evidence of TJ filing legal documents. We didn't look on. Look, that stuff is not confidential. It's no reason for it to be sealed. You can look it up online, even if it was sealed. Though, let's say it was sealed, the case name will still come up. You just can't look at the documents. Like, we don't see none of that stuff. They just been talking this entire time. Bravo, this is what you giving? You giving and pretend? Like, this is not reality. This is some fake show. Like, it's annoying me. It's making me, is it disinterested in the show? Or uninterested? It's one of those. Stacy for her ex-husband going with no proof that it was her, and she said it's inconsistent things in Stacy's story. That's how much he's on her mind that she can't even remember whether she has this man's number or not. Oh yeah, okay. I was like, they said you said that you didn't even have Chris's number, and then all of a sudden you had his number. And I said, well, that just shows you how much he's on her mind, because she don't even be thinking like somebody that's on my mind. I'm like, yeah, I got their number. I talk to them every day. Here it is. But somebody that's not on my mind, I just so happen to, oh yeah, I forgot. I do got his number. It's like, I'm not worried about this person. And then she said it. I'm worried about Timo. Okay, I know that's not his name, but it's close enough. I'm worried about him. Ain't nobody worried about no Chris. What Chris? He don't do nothing for me. I got you, Stacy. Um, I also clocked after the dinner. Stacy kicked everybody out. She said, "You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here." Okay. She said, "No, I gotta go." As they were leaving, I guess everybody didn't like it. Monique, no, Kay said, I think we should have a sleepover after the event tomorrow, after the trip tomorrow. And Angel's like, I gotta ask Bobby if that's cool, if he don't mind taking care of the kids all day. And Monique chimed in and was like, that's just being a dad. He could do that. You ain't got to ask him, basically. That's what she said. You ain't got to ask him. He should know how to be a dad without you asking him or something. Like you're not supposed to communicate in a relationship or something. It's not even about permission. It's just I need to communicate if he even feels like it, because sometimes as people we don't feel like doing things, and that's why we have a partner, so that if I don't feel like it, you got it. Okay. And that's probably why your relationship didn't work. And she put her hand up, was like, I don't want to come for you, but I will come for you. And I feel like she was definitely going to attack your marriage and say, girl, you can't tell me nothing because your relationship didn't work. I'm trying not to make the same mistake that you made. Oof. Oof. Oh, I hope that's not what you was gonna say, Angel. But I hope that's not what you was gonna say, Angel. But it was definitely giving mind your business and stay out of mine. And so Angel has a conversation. Oh, as they were walking out, Stacy says that they were talking about the bathroom, and Stacy was like, I want a bathroom. The robe smelled like sewer, um, and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, look at here, Stacy. Angel has been nothing but nice to you. Okay. You actually got to drive in a pickup truck. Don't get on the same train. Like you saying that everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, and it to go against you, but it's also looking like you are jumping on the same bandwagon, trying to be chummy with Giselle, who does not have any interest of having a relationship with you. Remember that. She didn't find the need to put your name on nothing, to include you on anything. She didn't even write nothing nice about you. The fact that you had something to say about Angel, it's out of character for you. It is very unbecoming of you to talk about the only person that's really been nice to you, genuinely. Like, I don't even think that she out here trying to just be friends with you just to be on the show like that. I think she really was trying to be your friend. And I'm like, the nerve of you to be talking about anything stink. Because the first thing that flashed back to me as I was talking was the fact that she let you ride in her pickup truck, but you had to sit in the back. And I'm trying to figure out, did she have the windows down? Because what's being said is that your breath stank. So if you shouldn't be talking about nothing stinking. You shouldn't be talking about nothing stinking, because what word on the street is your breath stink by all the ladies, including your own friend Wendy. And every time I see you, like Wendy was hugging, jumping up, hugging you and stuff when they found out y'all had a room together and stuff, and you was yelling too. I think Wendy was trying to get away from you. That's just me looking, and I be just looking at certain things. Like they said your breath stank, and I'm just trying to figure out how are they maneuvering around that. And are you going to the dentist to figure it out? Because I would be embarrassed if anybody was talking about my anything stank on me. You feel me? Um, yeah. Um, I said we won't be seeing Angel anymore because what she did was she was like, I'm setting a whole trip up for y'all tomorrow. Ain't that good enough? Like, how much more do you want from me? I'm really not trying to hang out with y'all all day. I need to decompress from y'all. And I'm like, this is a full-time job, boo boo. Like, you in it to be in it for the whole, I think it's what, 6 months that they have to film or something. If not 4, 3, something like that, summertime. And so it's like all day. And she like, I just wanted to spend time with my family and all this stuff. And she tried to use Bobby as a scapegoat. And I get that. That's the whole point of having a husband. And she like, so the ladies want me to have like a sleepover tomorrow. And she's giving him all the signals in her face, like, please say something. And she was like, what do you think? And she was like, she wanted Bobby to say, no, I need you here so that we can get things organized together for, you know, after seasons or something. We need to put the budgets together. He needed to say something to so that she can deliver it to the ladies and say, oh, my husband, he needs me. Or because saying that he can't handle the kids is not good enough. It's not good enough. It makes him look bad. So he didn't get the signals, and he was like, "What do you want to do? You don't want to do it? No, I don't." Everything. Angel showed her true colors when she did that. I was like, "Oh, is that how Angel is?" She's like, "No, I don't want to do it. I just want to be with you, boo." That's what she was giving. I just want to be with you, boo. And he was like, "Then don't do it. That's what it is, and you ain't gonna do it." And to me, what Bobby was saying, what I read between the lines was, you don't need this show. She's really doing this stuff for fun, just to be like she was on the Real Housewives of Potomac. That's what it's given to me. She don't really need the show. Giselle, Ashley has said it for I think 2 or 3 seasons before she got divorced, that the only income that she would get is from Michael, that she needed Michael. She was using his card to pay her bills and all this stuff. Who else needs the show? Um, hell, even what's her name? Karen don't even need the show. Karen don't need the show. You see, they still living over there in Potomac, just fine. Um, I can't think of her name. I can't never think of her name. The one Ashley slept with her son, and that was funny too. I don't think I talked about y'all about that. I saw Watch What Happens Live, and I want to call her Clarissa, but I can't think of her name right now. But she said, the mama said, I didn't know. I thought she was joking, and I would not be okay with her actually, like, I think they actually slept together. She was like, there's certain things that you just don't do, and I agree wholeheartedly. I couldn't imagine someone watching my child grow up and then turn around and sleeping with them as they got older because they are attractive. It's like self-control. Like you need to have, like, I couldn't imagine any of the kids that I see today as they got older. Like I always thought it was funny in my head that if my child brought friends over, that I would sleep with one of the fine ones. Like that's desperation for me. That's below. That's in the gutter type of stuff. Like I don't want to say never, because you never know what place a person is in, but that's some low budget stuff. Like I will go out and pay somebody that's my age to do exactly what that young boy may not know how to do. You feel me? I want to know her name so bad. I just know it start with a C. Um But I don't think she needs the show. She still got the whole wine thing going on in her house. Everything good with her. Who else be on the show? I don't think Wendy needs the show because her husband is an attorney. Now, does it help her remodel her whole house and stuff like that? Yes. But I don't think they need the whole show like that. Now, this whole fraud thing, I don't know about where that's going to go. I'm hoping that it comes out. I'm hoping that it comes out that Wendy bought another one, or since the insurance came through, she just went ahead and brought. I don't know. I just hope that I don't know. I don't know, because it's like I thought I lost it, but I found it. Like I don't know. How could this turn? Which way could this turn? I really don't like to see Wendy going through this, because she is one of my favorite um, castmates on the show. And Stacey ain't gonna have no friends by next season. But I hope she can come back from this. I really do. Um, every time people mention it though, it's so funny because Andy get like, you see Andy's face, he like, ugh, I don't want to talk about this. Um, let me move on. So yeah, we won't be seeing her no more. Mhm. Mhm. Um. So last thing, Giselle says that she's that because there's no water there, and Angel didn't do it on purpose. She didn't set them up in a house where they intentionally didn't have water. Um. And they were on Watch What Happens Live, and she explained it more that out in Colorado, I'm for one, I'm like, you have to understand you're in a different location, so you have to adjust to that location. But she said that if you're not utilizing the water frequently, that it can clog up the system or something with sand or something, whatever the case may be. They got this thing. Just like when I went to Vegas, it's a different type of atmosphere out there, and so you got to have the air conditioning on 24, 28. Okay. Not even 25, 28. Um, and so it's just like they just wanted to nitpick something. Giselle's crying, complaining about it at her house. You know, we ain't got no water. You set us up in something, some bull hanky, and all that stuff. And Angel's like, I didn't know y'all didn't have water. And the next day, the morning, they was like, she didn't even check on us at all. And it's like, are you guys children? She literally said, if anything happens, to call me and let me know, and I'll make sure it's worked out. They said that the chef got there and was able to fix it. I feel like certain things y'all need to know. I would be down there trying to figure out what he did so that we don't have to keep calling people to come help us, because it seems like it's some type of technical mechanism that they have to use. She said restart the system or whatever. So you do that, If the water's not working, do it. It's like, for example, my heater, it will constantly go out. It will constantly go out if I set it on a low level. And I had to keep clicking it to come back on. Click, 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 click. One day, my baby asked my baby to turn off the heater, and they flipped it all the way to the lowest level, all the way. And I'm like, dang, I'm gonna have to light it back up. And I had turned it back on, and it just came on. I didn't have to light it up. So ever since then, I figured out, oh, you just have to turn it on the lowest level, which is also something I had to do before too. But this one, it will turn off if it gets to a certain temperature. But anyways, that's besides the point. And so I'm just like, you need to learn how to utilize whatever system. Like if I'm in a different state, different country, I'm going to learn how to be of that state or country. And so I didn't like the fact that Giselle was complaining constantly, but then she got to the point where she was like, oh, I'm gonna find us a new living quarters, and we gonna move, and I don't care what Angel say, she just gonna have to deal with it. And I'm just like, girl, for what? It ain't like the rooms. Like, I understand you don't like your rooms, but anybody else, y'all mad about the water. Learn how to use the water. Stacy was shady when she went upstairs and was like, look at this. There's no more water. And I'm just like, girl, why are you being like this? This not cute. It's like when you don't see what I see. It's not, and then to find out, and who was I talking about when I say you gotta play it? You gotta play. You gotta make sure that they look stupid. You gotta stay calm and let them look stupid. Oh, I was talking to my baby, but Stacy then talked about this lady twice on the show, and I don't know if the lady wasn't listening, Angel wasn't listening, but in Watch What Happens Live, she was like, one of my favorite peoples is Stacy. I know that's gonna eat Stacy up. She's gonna be like, oh my gosh. And I was talking about her like a dog. I don't think that's the last time Stacy was talking about Angel either. I think it's gonna get worse. And it's the fact that Angel has been nothing but nice to you, and you talking about her, just saying anything, and showing like some type of disdain for her. Like, even if it's not direct, like you doing all this and showing that the water's not working and being like, oh my God, thank God you're getting us out of this place. It's just showing that you're not for Angel. I'm not saying live in poor conditions. I'm not saying that. But I'm also saying, like, if there's a problem, say something and she'll fix it. Like, you ain't even trying to figure out how to fix the problem. You just want something to talk about, something to complain about. And that's what I don't like. So Giselle says that, and who was it? Jazzy. So Jazzy texts Angel and tells her that the water wasn't working again, and that I think the chef was able to fix it or whatever. And she also told Angel that Monique was talking about her husband, and now that's where we left off on. She said, girl, if anybody come from my husband, I'm gonna go off. Y'all gonna see a different Angel. And we already saw a snippet of Angel when she was like with Monique. And see, I think everybody do it. They do little stuff to see how much you will take, how much disrespect you will take. Because I'm not gonna say what Angel did was disrespectful, but it was very dismissive towards Monique and what she did instead of communicating or whatever. Because nobody's owed anything. But it's gonna go from this to that. That's what it's gonna go to. Because people see, I don't think nobody likes to get in the fight except Krishan. Krishan the only one that liked to fight. And even then I don't think Krishan likes to fight. But people try to test the waters, and I think that's what Angel did. And so I think people also have triggers, and so Monique hit a trigger, and the ladies who's amen in her is gonna feel that too. I think that's where she's gonna draw the line. Like, don't you ever talk about my man or my kids. You can talk about my life, how I'm living and all this, don't talk about my man. So that's all I got. Let me know your point of view. Let me know what you guys enjoyed about this week's episode. I hope I got every single one of them. If there's a spinoff, whose spinoff do you think? Who do you think should have a spinoff in Love and Marriage Huntsville? What do you think about Stacy being a tag teamed? In the conversation that Tia and her had, and them also tag teaming Angel. Do you agree that she was evicted or not? What is your opinion about Vanita and Sally's relationship? And do you guys think that Heavenly is going to win the midterms? All right, put in the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.